All right, can you guys still hear me? Okay, perfect. All right, so we've already done introductions. My name, like I said, is Lauren Sanchez. I'm not from Orlando. That's where I live now, is Orlando, Florida. I actually went to high school with Elisha. She was a year ahead of me. And I always remember we had a lot in common, but it's amazing how much a year difference can kind of divide your journey and, you're kind of doing different things. But we got reconnected a few weeks ago just because our kids are the same age and we have a lot of things in common. And she lives in Tennessee now, which is where I went to school. So I just love hearing her accent that has come out more since she's lived there. But I wanted to welcome you to tonight's call. So this is Elisha's Healthy Living Revolution call. And you may not know everybody talking, although I did do introductions. You'll get to know everybody more shortly. But we're on the call because we're partnering together to share a message of hope with mission-driven people. And you've been invited because Elisha cares about you and she respects you and she wants you to kind of know what she's up to and what she's going to be doing to help her health journey and also that of her family's. So this call is going to be relaxed and fun. You don't have to buy anything or do anything. Really, you're just on the call to show your support to Elisha, and I know that means the world to her. She has an awesome heart. So for the first few minutes, I'm just going to talk a little bit about family health. You'll hear some information and inspiring stories, which I've already alluded to several times. And you'll hear stories about how some people are helping inspire people for healthy living. And then toward the end of the call, we'll just talk about the organization that Elisha's partnered with. It's called Juice Plus. And it's an organization that is all over the world and has helped lots of people create a sense of fulfillment by creating additional options in people's health, makes them feel really good, and then also has given them an opportunity to share that with others. So I hope that something will stand out to you on tonight's call and just resonate with you. And you might even think of somebody that isn't on the call tonight that needs to hear this message. So thank you so much for coming. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about, let me share my screen with you all. Hopefully you can see it. We'll do a little test. All right, can you guys see my screen? Perfect. All right, so the Juice Plus company really provides 3 different doorways for people to get started in their health journey. And so you see on the slide, the first is free resources, the second is nutritional support, and the third is the company that makes all of that possible. So those are each of the things that we'll talk about tonight. So the first is what is called Healthy Living Revolution, and that's kind of what we're sharing about tonight. It's a movement of people who are interested in taking health back and really educating other people on what that means. There's so many things out there that say that they're healthy, but when you really start doing the research, you realize that they're not. So the first doorway is free resources. So there's a website that Elisha can follow up with each of you afterward to give you the link. It provides free cookbooks that are whole foods based, different health talks focused on lots of different things. The most recent one was on bariatrics, which is really interesting. And there are some on gluten, dairy, inflammation, lots of different topics. A home fitness series with videos you can do from home, which if you have kids is great because I can never make it to the gym. I have to work out at home. Charity miles, Freedom Revolution. There's a lot of materials for kids. So it's really fun when you have kids around you in any capacity to teach them what it means to take care of themselves and eat healthy. So there's a YouTube channel, lots of different resources that are available. And that's called the Start Strong program. So moving on to the second doorway, we're going to talk about the importance of nutrition. And so I'm going to start off by asking each of you a question. Do you think that it is challenging to be healthy in the society we live in today? And you can just like wave your hand because I know you guys are all mute. Yeah, me too. So all of us, we love to look good, we love to feel good, and we want to live a long, active life. We want to be around for our grandkids today. I don't think there's a single person that would say they don't want that. And it's our job to make that happen. But as I said before, it can be complicated and time-consuming, and what people say is healthy sometimes isn't actually healthy. So that's where Juice Plus comes in. So Elisha and I, along with Marla and thousands of others, there were 8,000 people at a convention this past weekend from around the world, Australia, New Zealand, England, I mean, everywhere. But they're all part of a movement called the Healthy Living Revolution, where we are helping people take their health back in easy ways. And we all know that the foundation of good health is good nutrition. And in order to get good nutrition, we have to flood our bodies with the most important foods we could ever eat, which are raw fruits and vegetables and berries. So if you're looking at the slide over here, this shows lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, and lots of berries. So nowadays, I saw Dr. Sears this weekend, and if you don't know who he is, we can talk about that some other time. But I was talking with him, and I said, if you could tell anyone an important message about how to care for their health, what would you say? And he said, they need to eat 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So if you imagine your fist 13 times, that's how many fruits and vegetables you should be getting a day in order for your body to function optimally. And that's a lot. A lot more than I feel like I can even get in. And, you know, our family's come a long way in trying to make healthier choices. So that's why Juice Plus is such an incredible product. If you've never heard of it, I'll give you a little bit of background, and the slide that I have up helps. So as you'll see here, and this is outdated, we have had a couple changes in what's on the slide, but the basic core of it's the same. So it comes in capsule or gummy form, and it is 30 raw fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. And then it comes from farm fresh nutrition, and I'll talk a little bit about what that means. So when you go to the grocery store nowadays, there's tons of fruits and vegetables on the shelves. A lot of them are green or they aren't ripened. Well, they're picked weeks and weeks in advance to get them there so that by the time you take them home, they aren't rotting right away. So you have a little bit of time for them to sit at home. Well, in that process, they lose a lot of their nutritional content when they're picked early and shipped those long distances. So Juice Plus works with some of the best mid-sized family farms in North America, and there are juicing and drying facilities located right next to the farms that as soon as the fruit or veggies or berries are harvested, they go ahead and they juice them and dry them at really low temperatures. And they actually use the whole food. So interesting fact, oranges. Everyone eats oranges and drinks orange juice for the vitamin C. Did you know, which I didn't until 6 months ago, that 80% of the vitamin C is actually in the peel? And I don't know about you, but I don't eat orange peels very often unless it's a little zest here or there. So all that to say, the way that Juice Plus is manufactured includes the peels, leaves, seeds whenever possible so that we get the greatest amount of nutrients. And the end result is highly concentrated nutrition in capsule or gummy form, which a lot of children take. And it's tested by independent experts to ensure natural purity. I'm going to flip my slide here. So a couple other products that Elisha ordered and I know she's super excited about and that our family loves is the complete powder. So there's a chocolate and a vanilla version. And in that, there are 15 different additional plants that are in those drinks. So it is vegan, gluten-free, whole food protein with fiber, amino acids, and fruits and veggies. And people use it for post-workout recovery, snacks, meals, breakfast, you name it. A couple things that make it really unique. It can be really confusing. There are a lot of health products out there these days. And I'll get more into how long the company has been around and all that in a bit. And I thoroughly do my research. So what I would tell you is the 3 most unique things are that they're 45 whole foods, they're non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, they're NSF certified to be pure. So that's a third party that comes in to do quality assurance to make sure that what's on the label is actually what's in the product, because supplements are not regulated in our country. And then the last and kind of final element, which I know Elisha loves, is that there are over 35 published clinical studies that back it. It's actually 38 now. We've already had a few more since this slide show was made. So it's scientifically proven. It's the most nutritional research product in the world. So if you ask Siri on your iPhone, what's the most nutritionally researched product in the world, they will say that it is Juice Plus. And I didn't bring my goodies here to show you, But on the back of them, it is a nutrition label. So it's not a supplement. A lot of the vitamins and stuff that you have in your house says that it's a supplement. This is actually classified as a food. So if you were to walk into the store and look for it, it would be in the produce section because it is whole foods. So there's no warning label. It's safe for people of all ages, pregnant and nursing moms, children, the elderly, and even professional athletes. And then a couple more things I'll show you on this other slide is the newest product we've released, and we only have 5, and we've been around for more than 25 years or 50 years, if we get more detailed, is our Omega Blend. So this is a fully plant-based Omega that has no fish oil or anything like that, and it is also vegan. We have some bars that have the same nutrients and plants in them as the complete powder. So those are great to throw in your purse as a snack, and you don't have to feel bad about them having artificial things or sugar in them. And then this right here is our Tower Garden. And I just ordered mine. I'm so excited. It's a hydroponic Tower Garden where you can grow fresh produce without the hassle of dirt and bugs getting in the ground or your soil not being good enough. I struggle with that a lot in Florida because of the sand. We don't have much good planting soil down here. So we're really excited about it as a family. It'll also save us a ton of money over time. So we're really excited. So now we'll get into our product stories. And Marla, can I ask you to go first?
Sure. About 12 years ago, I had already gone, I had a almost exclusively women's lung disease, and I had already gone through the lung transplant evaluation here in St. Louis, Missouri at Barnes. A good friend of mine from church saw that I kept getting sick over and over and over again. I was on oxygen, and she cared enough to share with me about Juice Plus and said, I really want to help you. And I was very skeptical at the time about Juice Plus. And I thought, yeah, right, fruits and vegetables. So I wanted to kind of prove her wrong. So I would eat pizza and ice cream and everything else just to show that it didn't work. But at the same time, I had to get blood work all the time, going to Barnes. Well, I noticed that my cholesterol level was dropping after 3 months. I noticed that my blood work was better. I also needed to lose 30 pounds before the transplant. I noticed that I was exercising better, that I had more endurance. So I thought, okay, 4 months, I'll reorder. Well, I became hooked. I ended up being on 15 liters of oxygen the last 2.5 years that I was waiting for lungs, and I could exercise like you wouldn't believe. The transplant team were just so thrilled on how well I was doing. I did not get sick the 5 years I was on it beforehand, and they were so happy to hear that I could exercise, and they were happy that I was on Juice Plus, but they told me that I could not be on Juice Plus afterwards. And I said, why? It's whole food in a capsule. And they said, well, we don't know about it. Well, I was blessed. I was healthy going in, and I got my lungs on August 1st, 2011. Well, I listened to the transplant team when they said I couldn't take Juice Plus afterwards. I got, if anybody's familiar with transplants, I got acute rejection, chronic rejection. I got sick all the time. And I thought, this isn't right. And Dr. Paul Williams from the Juice Plus company and Debbie, my colleague who introduced me to it, called me, and Dr. Williams said, now, Marla, you were on it 5 years beforehand, and you know how it kept you healthy. And I thought, I know this is right. So I got back on Juice Plus. I didn't get sick. I felt great. So I didn't tell my transplant team until my 4-year anniversary. And the team was like, well, you can stay on it, but we don't think it really works. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So as I said, I'll be celebrating 7 years. And if I do, you have to understand, I have a severely suppressed immune system because of the drugs I take. But I rarely get sick. I'm traveling all over the country. If I do get sick, I double up on my Juice Plus. It just goes away. I have not been in the hospital since I've had my transplant, where most lung transplants are in the hospital a lot, last year with the flu, yes, I got type A flu, but all I was exhausted. I had nothing else. I mean, nothing. So I I am fighting Barnes Hospital because they tell the transplant patients they are on it. But I will tell you, the ones that are on it thank me all the time because they don't get sick. They are healthier than ever. I had a woman crying, calling me that her white blood cell count was up for the very first time in 3 years because of Juice Plus. Nothing else had changed. She was so happy. So I will never give up. It's the pharmacist who says that all these fruits have side effects to the meds. No, they don't. For 2 years now, I've been taking 4, 4, and 4 of each just to prove to them that it does work. I just, it's my mission to show that it does really work. So I help women with my lung disease. They're on it and they stay healthy. I help the pre-transplant and the post-transplant. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Wow, that's so incredible. What an inspiration you are for people that have been through that. So
Yes.
I'm not sure that they got to hop on, but I have a member of my family who is lined up to get a double lung transplant. Um, and so I'm going to be sharing this call afterward of Elisha's with him
Please.
because I don't think he was able to make it. So I may have to also connect, him with you at some point. So thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to share my story and then I'll let Elisha share with you guys kind of what got her excited about this through us connecting. So like I said, I'm Lauren. I am 34, soon to be 35. I grew up with Elisha in Middletown, Ohio. And growing up, my family really did the best that they could to feed us. My mom worked a lot. My dad worked a lot. And, we were just that classic middle-class family, I guess. And I also, growing up, struggled a lot with being sick. I had sinus infections multiple times a year. I had to get tubes put in 4 or 5 times as a kid. So I still today have a lot of scarring on my eardrums as a result. So I was on medication all the time. Never felt that great. Then when I got into high school, I started struggling a little bit with depression, which my mom had struggled with as well. And in college, I really decided I was out on my own and I felt like I could make my own choices. And so I started pursuing alternative medicine and just different things like chiropractic and massage for the first time in my life. And I started seeing huge results. Well, the year I graduated from college, my dad committed suicide. He also struggled with depression. And that was really hard, as you can imagine. So it's a lot easier to talk about today, but it still hurts. Still miss him every day. And when I met my husband, he had lost his mom to cancer. She had bone cancer. And this was around when we were both 20 years old. Fast forward 6 years after my dad died, his dad died of rheumatoid arthritis. It was very unexpected. I guess he got some issues with his lungs from the arthritis and his heart gave out. So before the age of 30 and before we had any of our children, we had lost 3 out of 4 parents. And when you are young and you have kids, it's your dream for them to get to meet your parents. And so, daily still, we miss that. We have lots of incredible people that have adopted our kids, which is such a blessing. But it was those experiences that I think always had my husband and I searching for ways to be healthier. Because cancer runs a lot in my husband's family, depression runs in mine. And we just knew that with our kids, we want to be around to see our grandkids. So I repeat that a lot because I'm speaking it, that it's going to happen. So we started researching different things, and we were fortunate enough that when I was interviewing pediatricians before I had my first, he recommended Juice Plus. He just said, hey, there's this great whole food supplement you could take. I know you're nursing your son. He would get all the same benefits as if he's eating them, even when he's nursing. And I didn't ask a lot of questions. I was like, yeah, if it makes my kids be healthier and less sick, absolutely 100%. So I started that around the time my son was born, not while I was pregnant with him. And he was healthier than most kids. Fast forward 2 years later, we had my second son, Luca, and I actually was taking it the entire time I was pregnant with him, and noticed huge differences in the immune systems of my kids, just from how long each of them had been on it. So my firstborn, he had RSV, and a few other things. My second son, never sick. I mean, I think maybe he's 2 now. He maybe was on 1 antibiotic, and they go to daycare all day. They're not home with me, so they're around the germs. But my firstborn struggled with RSV, molluscum, eczema, all kinds of things. And I think I'm one of the few people that's seen the difference in their kids from that, just nutritionally and just in their behavior and their illness and their overall health. Now they're both kind of equally stable because they've both been on it for quite some time, but they never get sick. Kids at school that have the flu and come back the day after, kiss them on the cheek, and they don't come home sick. I don't remember the last time I've been sick. It's been years at this point. Since I'll get maybe a snuffy nose, and it never turns into anything more. So for that, I'm so thankful. And then in the last 6 months is when my husband and I got really serious. So we started adding on more of the products, like the complete powder that I showed you guys. We make pudding out of it. We make protein balls for our kids. We do morning smoothies with them, and our health has improved even more. My husband and I have both also lost 25 pounds as an incredible side effect, just by flooding our body with fruits and veggies and learning how to cook differently and to make it fun to where it's not overwhelming. We have an entire community supporting us. So, and my husband's eczema he had really bad eczema on his eyelids that started to go away. So it's just been such a blessing for us. We will never not take it, which is why we share it with other people. It's the same as Marla's story. So thank you for listening. All right, Elisha, why don't you tell everybody kind of why you got excited about this, why it resonated with you, and why you're excited to get started, because I know you haven't technically started it yet.
Okay, so my health journey has been kind of on and off. I moved down to Tennessee, but I've been here for 10 years now, and I struggled to, I don't think I told Lauren this, but I struggled to get pregnant with my first child. So we had to use fertility drugs to get pregnant with Pippa, and then with Piper, she just came, out of nowhere. But both of my babies, when they were little, both had dairy, soy intolerance allergies. And so I noticed that when I would take away the dairy and the gluten and the soy in my meals, because I was nursing them, it actually affected me, and I lost a tremendous amount of weight just from taking those 3 things out. I went back to work, and I just got really busy and consumed, and then went back to school. With a 1-year-old, my husband was in the academy the day that my youngest was born, so he was never home, and then sleeping because he was pretty much in boot camp, but just around the corner. So it was hard, and so I just kind of did whatever for us at the time. And now that I'm back, I've graduated school, I went for nuclear medicine. I've learned so much in that field as well. We use a lot of radiopharmaceuticals to look for cancer, to look at the function of different organs in people, gallbladders and stomachs, and we do stress tests, watching the function of hearts, checking for blood flow and blockages and things like that. But the one thing that resonated with me with nuclear medicine was the PET CT scans, and that's where you stage cancer, and you check to see if the radiation has worked at all for your cancer. And what they use is something called FDG, which is fluorodeoxyglucose, which is pretty much just glucose. It's sugar that goes in your body. You eat it, and it just kind of like a light bulb went off on me. So I'm putting sugar in my body, and these people are feeding their cancer with that and their health. And I just wanted to research that a little bit more, and I've been in and out of just discovering different, I've heard people talk about Advocare, and people talk about Beachbody and their Shakeologies and Thrive, and I don't think there's anything wrong with those products as long as they work for you, but I really wanted something that was going to actually help people and that was pure. and something that was whole and not, I didn't want a list of different ingredients that I couldn't pronounce. And when I read about Juice Plus, or when Lauren introduced me with I can't talk. When Lauren introduced me to Juice Plus, and I started doing my own research on it, I was just very impressed with all of the clinical research studies that they did. And that really stood out to me because I think this is the only product that I've ever, looked up and researched about that actually did that. And that's what really stood out to me, I guess, because I'm in the healthcare industry and I need proof. I need something that's actually going to work. And I want to tell people about this because I see so many people every day struggling with their health and struggling to breathe and struggling to, feel better. And I think that's where my passion is in this whole journey, is to just improve people's life and their health and to tell them about this product. So I'm super excited. As you can tell, I can't even my words are all jumbled and I'm trying to say a bunch of things at the same time. but yeah, so that's my story, and I'm so excited to start this. And we're actually getting gummies for the girls. And the other thing is that the doctor just put them on year-round allergy medicine, and I don't want that for them. I want to see, I want to improve their health as well, and I hope that they don't continue to I hope it betters them. So yeah, that's it.
Well, that's one thing I didn't mention from my story is I used to have to get allergy injections. I still struggle a little bit with allergies, but I don't take medication anymore. And there aren't a lot of people on this call that can share that story, but I would say that's the majority of people. The longer you're on it and the more you give your opportunity or your DNA an opportunity to change, the more you fight off allergies, which is a result of inflammation in the body. So that's just an interesting fact. I don't know if I've shared with you before, Elisha.
No. And the other thing I wanted to point out, there's not a cure-all in any product. And I love that they say that in this product, that this is just, it's a lifestyle change, and it's also a bridge to, it's a bridge in what you're not getting in your own diet right now, but it actually helps. And so I love that they're honest about things like that, and not trying to play up like, oh yeah, you do this for 10 days and drink this and you'll, but it's there's clinical studies and there's just proof out there that their stuff works. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks so much for sharing. Well, I want to go ahead and kind of hop into our last segment of the call, where we talk about the company that makes it all possible. And I've only been involved with the company for about 6 months, but it is hands down the best decision I've ever made. I have made friendships with the most incredible and most inspiring people I have ever been blessed to be surrounded with. And so this past weekend, I went to my first conference, and again, I was like, this feels too good to be true. These people are so incredible and nice, and they just care about people. So I think tonight's call for me personally, as I share about the business behind it, it's coming from an even different place than it was when I would have shared this before. So as you can see through just the stories you've heard so far, the main goal is to bring freedom through improved health to people, just by helping bridge the gap. And a couple things that are really important for people to know is that 80% of Juice Plus is purchased directly by customers who have no affiliation with the company. So those are people who take the products but have no interest in being involved in the business. And we know that the business is not for everyone, but there are those who are looking for another type of freedom. And for me, I started out just to get the cost of my products covered because I knew my family is going to be taking them the rest of our life. And that's where the Freedom Revolution kind of entered in for me. So like I mentioned before, I'll preface this by saying we're not asking you to do anything on the call. It's an educational opportunity, and I want to share why I love the business. And if Marla's still on, I may have her share too. But I want to share what it's done for our family, because you may think of somebody who this resonates with or who needs to hear that this is a possibility for them. So a little bit about how it works is Juice Plus, if you decide to join the business, it's called a virtual franchise. It only costs $50 a year. And it gives you access to an online office, personal website. You can run your business remotely. We have a lot of moms who work 20 hours a week and take care of their kids. I work full time and I do this on the side because I'm so passionate about educating families to be healthy. So everyone's story is a little bit different. But the company manufactures the products on site. They deliver, they bill, they ship it to the customers. All people do is share it by word of mouth. There's no inventory to keep. All commission levels are permanent. There are no monthly quotas or minimums. A lot of people do it just to cover the cost of their product and they don't want to do anything else. And that's totally fine. Some people end up catching a vision for doing more because they get more excited and they want to share with more people. So people can share a lot or a little. Some people do 5 hours a week. Some people do 20. And there's no glass ceiling on income or territory restrictions. And it's in over 20 countries. So a couple things that, again, make me really excited after going to conference is the company was founded almost 50 years ago. 25 years is the Juice Plus name that everyone knows of. So it's actually been around 50 years with the same president at the helm today. It's privately held and debt-free with over $12 billion in sales, on track for $1 billion by the year 2020. And money is made in 4 ways: through retail profit, commissions, one-time and residual bonuses, and family health insurance. At the top position of the company, which I have lots of friends that do that now, but Leah, who is on my team, she gets full benefits for her family, including medical, dental, disability, life, long-term care, chiropractic, prescription coverage, college tuition assistance, $1,000 holiday bonus, and a monthly expense business allowance. There aren't a lot of companies out there that give this way to their employees that are, companies like this. So some people use it for short-term cash flow. Some make it their part-time, full-time job. And some people, when they're older, they do it as an opportunity to have additional retirement funds. And Juice Plus is really different because it's a company that gives back in some pretty incredible ways. So the Children's Health Study, which Elisha mentioned, I don't think she said the name, it's now called the Family Health Study. It basically allows, with any adult capsule order, kids that are 4 years to college can get the vitamins or the whole food concentrates for free. And that's pretty incredible. So the person that you work with and end up ordering through, they pay a portion of their earnings to fund that so that your kid can get those for free. And our oldest just started getting that, and I was so excited. So they get it for free up to 4 years. So 1 million families to date have gone through the Children's Health Study. Juice Plus is the title sponsor for St. Jude's Marathon each year, and in 2006, donated over $10 million for the Children's Hospital. They're involved with the Boys and Girls Club, so they created a technical institute to teach kids marketable trades, and 100% of the graduates are placed in jobs. They've donated tower gardens, which are the tower that I showed you that grows plants and vegetables, at over 4,000 centers, and that number continues to grow. And then they've donated 10 million complete meals to the Volunteers of America. So that's $20 million in food that VOA will never have to buy. And in 2016, they honored him for 3 decades of service. I did meet one really incredible person that works in our company, and Elisha can send you some videos. His name is Stephen Ritz. He is a teacher in the Bronx, New York, and he has revolutionized that city by teaching people about produce and educating. He's brought over 2,300 jobs. And so this is just like the tip of the iceberg and the type of people that are involved with this company. So they inspire healthy living, but they also inspire healthy giving. They're people that care. So I think Marla, did you hop off the call? I think she did. So I'll share my business story really quickly with you all. So I already mentioned that the reason I got involved with this was because my friend was like, well, Lauren, you've been taking the product for 4 years. Why don't you at least share it with a couple people and help offset your costs? I was like, duh, why didn't I do that sooner? We believe in it and we just put it in our grocery bill every month. But, if I shared it with just a couple people, it would help offset the cost. And once I started watching the videos Elisha's talking about and like learning more about the research and seeing the heart of the people that are involved, it just made me want it. I couldn't not share it. because of the difference it's made in our family and the difference it's made in tons of people's lives. So that got us sharing. So within a couple months, we covered the cost of our products as an entire family, which is incredible. So we eat everything we can every day. We use all of the products, except for one, which we're getting ready to order, the Omega. We just ordered the Tower Garden, so we'll be using that soon too. But it's been such a blessing for our family in incredible ways. My husband's dad was a chef. He had no interest in eating healthy. And given his family history, the fact that the education he's received through this company has changed his mind and help him understand, said something to me in a tremendous way. So in May, we're taking a family vacation to the beach, and we were able to pay for a majority of the stay along with some of my family just by the earnings that we got through Juice Plus. Instead of having to watch our budget really tight, it's given us a little extra wiggle room, which has been an unexpected blessing in a lot of ways. So that's a little bit about my business story. I'm excited to continue growing it, and I would love if one day I can just help people be healthier and hang out with awesome people and do this part-time and spend time with my family. That would be incredible. So I think that's it. And then I really just have one more thing that I want to share with you all. So I just wanted to thank you guys for joining us. I know it means a lot to Elisha, and I see the enthusiasm in your faces for those of you that are on video. And so Elisha, as she starts this journey, she's excited to network with a couple of different types of people. And if you fall into one of these categories, you're welcome to stay on the phone after we've stopped the recording and chat a little bit more if you have questions. But the two types of people are the first, people who are ready to take the next step in their health, like Elisha's chosen to do, and just add the Juice Plus product into it. So if you look at the cost, it only costs $2 to $3 a day. Kids over the age of 4 can get it free with an adult order. And it's a really simple, convenient way, especially if you're a busy mom or busy family where you know you're not feeding your kids what they need to protect themselves for long-term health every day. It's really inexpensive. It's cheaper than buying that much produce, I'll tell you that. And then the second type of person is somebody who wants to partner with Elisha and, maybe interested in pursuing this as a business to help offset the cost of their products for their kids, or who this mission just resonates so much with. It sounds like something fun you'd want to do. You get to go to conference with a bunch of people, eat good food, travel places. It's actually a tremendous amount of fun. So although you're here to support Elisha, you might be thinking of somebody, a family member or friends, who this seems like the perfect fit for nutritionally to help bridge the gap, or who maybe is dissatisfied with their job and would want to try to do something else on the side. So, if that's you, tell Elisha, and I know she'd be happy to talk with them or, hop on a call. So congratulations, Elisha. I'm really excited for you to get to start. And, I just love your energy and your heart for people. That's why we get along so well. So do you have anything else you want to share? Any final words for everybody as we wrap up?
No, I think that you've pretty much said everything. I do want to thank everybody for coming on and taking the time out of your day to be here with us. I appreciate that a lot, and I love you all. And I wish you all the best of luck on your health journeys as well. But that's it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop recording, and then if anybody wants to stay on the line, they can.
All right.
So I'm going to say bye to the camera, bye to the recording.